Hello everyone, and today we're back into another tier list, and today we're going to be ranking all of the Loomians that you can get in Route 1. This will also include all of their evolved forms, although this will not count Tiklipse nor Sumobito. The reason why I'm not including Tiklipse and Sumobito, because Tiklipse is required to get rallied in Route 6, while Sumobito needs a warned rope, which you can only get in the beach. So I'm not counting Tiklipse nor Sumobito onto this list. But every other pre-evolved and fully evolved Loomian will be on this list. And we can rank them from best, good, okay, meh, bad, and the worst Route 1 Loomian. So yeah, let's head right into this. And we're going to do this by PvP, by the way, because yeah. And the first one that we're ranking is Twilight. Where do you think it's going to go? Like, yes, Twilight has some pretty good evolutions. Like, it becomes Tiklipse, which is the best PvP Loomian in the game currently. Luxor, which is pretty good. And Umbrat, which just got chased down, which is really good. But Twilight itself really sucks. There isn't really anything to really do with it. So yeah, Twilight kind of struggles, so it's in the bad tier. Might even be the worst Loomian that you get in Route 1. Like, when I first played the game, I always got disappointed when I got Twilight. So, yeah. It's going in the bad tier. Now let's rank Umbrat. Surprisingly in the good tier. This thing hits very hard. And while it only does have Dark-type moves, you do have Chase Down now. And Chase Down is an amazing move. You can now trap anything that's weak to Dark, make them take a ton of damage, and then they swap into the thing that can beat you. That's the thing. You're able to actually hit the opposing Loomian now, which is awesome, meaning that they're trapped into an Umbrat. And then Umbrat can do some amazing work with Chase Down. Like, literally, Umbrat with Chase Down is literally really OP. And even the other moves that it has, like, it has Bulk Up, which means it can increase its melee bulk. Raging Tackle makes it hit very hard. And of course, Quick Pounce Priority always helps. That always helps. And yes, there are better Dark types in the game. There is no doubt about that. I mean, there's Metronet and Cephalops, like two Ubers, which are Dark types. So, yeah, I can understand that. But even then, Umbrat just has a pretty good role. It's a hard-hitting one with priority. And now with Chase Down, it can trap stuff in. And since Chase Down has been switched to a normal type move, this is the only Loomian that still has normal Chase Down. You know what I mean? The dark type version of Chase Down. When now Your Soul and everything else that has it just has it as a normal type move. So that's why Umbrat is in the good tier. It's actually really good. And as weird as it sounds, Umbrat might actually be the best Route 1 tier Loomian. Oh my gosh, that's actually kind of funny to say. But let's get to the other Loomians. Luxor's okay. Luxor, I think, is a little bit under Umbrat, but it's still very good. It still puts a lot of work, especially on the ranged side. I got Fire Breath now, so I can hit those plant types and metal types. The two types it's weak to super effectively. While not that hard, it hits them super effectively. It could probably at least two-shot most of them. And yes, there are other counters like Luminami, Malmerk, Chartiki, which are three really tough Loomians to deal with. Luxor could still do some very, very good work. And like I said, if you run the melee version, you can actually run Chase Down now if you want to. So you could also trap those in as well. Although I don't think it's quite as effective as it is on Umbrat. So yeah, that's going in the okay tier. It's definitely a pretty solid PvP Loomian, but I don't think it's quite in the good tier with Umbrat. Now, we get to Cathorn. Cathorn's bad. Reason is why is because there's kind of no reason to use Cathorn when Propae exists. Which, speaking of Propae, yes, you're going in the okay tier. This is actually a solid defensive priority user. It's a bulky bug type that can poison and trap stuff in with Pestilence. This has surprisingly really good bulk and can be used. This was the original Odasho before Odasho got really OP. And it did a pretty good work even though it has no way to heal itself. Poison and Pestilence can just do a ton of damage And with Drop of Youth or Health Amulet, this thing can be very bulky and can absolutely destroy teams. I've seen Jamie destroy Loomians with Propae before. It's pretty good, especially if you run a pretty good set on it. Now, you have to run defensive priority, though. If you run any other ability, Propae is going to suck. It's basically right at Cathorn's level. But I think it's an okay tier Loomian with defensive priority. I think it's honestly really good. It has its niches. I think if you use the Airblade one, you can be Garbantus. If you use you can use the Pestilence Poison one for Luminami. I think there's even other moves it has now, which is kind of insane. So yeah, Propae, really good. It's actually in the okay tier. Cynamoth is surprisingly worse than Propae. Going in the med tier. Like, it can't be at Twilight and Cathorn level. Even though it is kind of bad. It can't be as bad as Twilight or Cathorn. That's basically kind of ridiculous. So, yeah. But, yeah, Cynamoth isn't really that good. It doesn't really have any good abilities, and it doesn't really hit hard at all. Unlike Luxor and Umbrat, even though the stats look the same, Luxor and Umbrat both have abilities that increase their damage output, when Cynamoth has awful abilities, and it's just the offensive typing overall is not quite there. Now, yes, at least it does have coverage moves, unlike Umbrat, but the thing is that they're not that good. Bug Air, that's not really good offensively. With Grass coverage, whoop-de-doo, two of the worst offensive typings offensively on the same Loomian. And even worse, it's quad weak to Icicle Traps. That really doesn't help aspects neither. If you're quad weak to Icicle Traps. With Flutter, you do lose that, but even then, this thing is so frail. Not really any good abilities to really use it with. It does have Magnified, that's kind of all it has, but after that, Cynamoth is not that good, which is really sad. Now let's get into, I think this is Paratweet, so yeah. Paratweet, it's where the rest of the baby Loomians are. Although I do think it is the best one out of the three. I don't think it is amazing. Now this one, I forgot what this name is. But whatever the name is, it's going in mag, because it is a little bit better. I actually seen the Drop of Youth of these before. I've seen one of them. It did okay. And I guess now with Broad Boost, it can actually set up with Rev Up. I guess I could see this working, but again, there's kind of no reason to use this when you could use Avitross. Which, by the way, these are the old designs. Yes, there's no new tier list out currently, so I have to use old ones. Get on your game, guys. Update the tier list. Anyway, with me complaining behind us, let's talk about Avitross. Now, Avitross is interesting. I would put it at okay or med every other situation. But considering the rest of the other Loomians on this tier list, it is in the good tier. At least it's better than the rest of the Loomians on this list, I think. Like Luxor is questionable, but you know. But I gotta keep its counters in mind. Thing is, Avitross does have a lot of counters too. Although it does have Brawn Boost. Brawn Boost is very nice. Driving Force is nice. Thunder Crash is nice. Like Air with Electric and Brawler coverage is nice. But I don't think it's enough. Like melee, like a lot of melee tanks counter you. Like let's just tell 3 melee tanks: Himber, Tundralin, and of course Obsidian. Those are 3 massive melee tanks that counter you. Let's not even mention Tyrex. And while Driving Force can hit most of them, you usually underspeed because that's how the move Driving Force works. So you're going to take a hit every time you use it. So it's really risky. It's really situational. Oh my gosh, let's not even mention a couple of the other Loomians that counter. I think every ice type counters you. Oh my gosh. So yeah, and it's weak to Icicle Traps, which doesn't help. It does have healing. It does have that. It does have Purge for it to heal its health back, but other than that, it doesn't really work that well. It doesn't do enough damage unless you get a Brawn Boost off. And all the moves that you have besides Driving Force recoils you, which really gets your Avitross injured in the long run. So, yeah, It is in the good tier, at least compared to all these Loomians, but it honestly is not that amazing. It's definitely at the low good tier for me. So yeah, I think the worst Loomian in Route 1, I think, is Twilight. I don't... Is it Twilight? Actually, I'm going to do Cathorn over Twilight. Yes, it does have the bug typing, but the thing is that once... No, because Bug Bite can... No, Bug Bite can leech life. I'm putting Twilight under there. Bug Bite can actually leech life, which is okay. Plus, you got a type advantage. Twilight, you don't have that. So, I'm putting Twilight at worst. Boy, it's close between these two, but I'm going with the Twilight here. And now, which is better out of Umbrat and Avitross? Which one is better out of the two? The best Loomian in Route 1 is surprisingly gonna be Umbrat. I know that Umbrat is on a best tier list. Oh my gosh. But seriously, Chase Down is literally a game changer for Umbrat. It hits hard, and while it does recoil itself, it has a lot of stuff going for it. Whereas for Avitross, it does struggle with a lot of melee tanks at the moment. And yes, while you do have Driving Force, you do underspeed. When with Chase Down, you get to trap a lot of Loomians in, do a ton of damage with your Overshadow ability, and then bang, you get to absolutely nuke with Umbrat. And while Umbrat is replaceable, Avitross is even more replaceable. So yeah, Umbrat, in my opinion, is the best Route 1 Loomian in all of Loomian Legacy. I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. I'm going to try to do a tier list on every route if I can. And yeah, expect more of these to come in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!